G'day and welcome to the video. It's time for hard survival run number 5. I'm introducing the baseline element of my Fabpack mod pack with this world. There's a lot of new features that come with new mods, and unfortunately a conflict that I only discover once it causes game crashes. Once that's fixed, however, the baseline component of the mod pack is rock solid and will be part of worlds going forward. Other than the mod pack change, there's no changes to the world setup or game rules I've set. So it's time to see what I've got. I spawn in at the top of an oak tree that already seems a bit bigger than usual. It's already clear that we now have mapping support, a compass ribbon, a timer, and an as yet unseen mod is reporting it has updates. We're going to find out in a hurry that the enhanced oak tree is a part of the mod pack as well. At least we don't need to worry about which direction I'm facing, or where I am. This slideshow mode should only last long enough for Minecraft to load everything in and set everything up. Well, at least it should. I mark my spawn in the traditional manner and take a look at what's around me. Those birch and oak trees don't look anything like normal. The forest looks scarier. I make use of a waypoint, which is added with the mapping mod, to mark the spawn point. It just saves on remembering coordinates, which now show with a mini-map. I really love the ambience that the new tree creations give. It really makes the forest feel like it's an old-growth, untouched wonderland. Local exploration takes me out to the sand neck, but I gain little more than sugarcane. I do happen across some exposed coal on the way back, and take the opportunity to also upgrade to stone gear. I return the first batch of resources to spawn, and set myself ready to go looking for sheep. Or any passive mob really. I stop to admire some horses and fireflies. They're not quite the ones Mojang envisioned, but they're still pretty. Even with the mapping to help me, I don't really find anything of interest until this ruined portal. I stop to check it out, but the chest only has a handful of obsidian, a flint and steel, golden panther binding, and a golden mending shovel. Meh tier at best. Finished with the ruined portal, I move through the moonlit forest on foot for a bit. Fallen logs, vines, and even bushes, as well as the improved ambient sounds, really makes it a place of adventure. Back in the boat, I'm greeted with a lovely misty sunrise through the trees. Daylight is going to make my sheep search a lot easier. Exploring on foot this time, I find some cows and pigs and soon add to my meat and leather reserves. And one drops something rather unexpected. Clearly my new disguise is what I needed all along, as just over the next hill I spot sheep. Suitably equipped with a brand new bed, I head back and check out the shipwreck that I'd previously marked on the map. The first chest is a lot of potatoes and stew, the second pretty much just the treasure map, and the third is iron, emeralds and lapis. A good find from this shipwreck. After a night on the shipwreck, I check the treasure map to find that it doesn't look too far off from the journey back to spawn. A short bit of exploration later, and I've marked the basic treasure location and will return once I've dropped off most of my resources at base, which was pretty close to the eventual treasure location. After hanging around spawn to do some tree clearing and terrain flattening, I'm soon back at the treasure location to dig it up. After a couple of basic guesses as to the location, I soon hit the treasure chest, and it's got plenty for me. Returning to base and offloading everything, I'm soon back into the terrain flattening as I continue to think about the base design that I'm going to end up using. Following the same basic principle as my previous hardcore world, I set out some fence lines to give basic protection to my work area. With another good session of terrain flattening and tree clearing done, I set out to explore. On the way I find some nicely exposed above water ruins. In amongst the spaghettified forests, I find a small dark oak biome and stop to gather what I can from it. Further along, I find a ruined portal with a golden helmet of mending. It's not enough to convince me to lose the cowhead though. A lot more roaming and exploring later, and something odd appears on the horizon. It looks like a biome I've not personally encountered before. A mushroom island! At sunset too! Well, I know I'm going to be safe from mobs tonight. In the grand scheme of things, it's not actually that far from spawn, just across this sea. I still haven't seen any villages yet. That's been odd. Eventually I successfully returned to spawn, tons of loot and plenty of interesting places to go back to. It is only fitting that the one place I really want, I haven't seen yet. Work continues on flattening my build site, with my fence line keeping me nice and safe. Wait, what's that? Hey, that's a chicken thing. A thingy jockey. Chicken jockey? That's a bit rude, being on this side of the fence. You're supposed to be on the other side of the fence, like this. I bravely fight off the horde of tiny zombies, and, at the end of it, I've rescued a noble steed. Clearly this unprotected back part of the base is going to need some work. And protection. There is a skinny cave system tucked in behind the spawn area, which I haven't really gone into yet. I'm hoping there's some decent iron ore or other ores to find. I didn't get much from that cave trip, but because I have massive amounts of dirt and timber to take care of, I put in what is a massive storage system compared to my normal playthroughs. If I'd previously thought that walking through the dark oak forests in the rain was bad enough, these modded forests are downright gloomy and spooky in the rain. Where is the video? Well, this is the part where I found an unexpected conflict with a couple of mods that only triggered when you entered a village. And it had the horrid behaviour of crashing to desktop and not catching anything in the log. Worse, as far as the recording went, the audio and video desynced to the point they were both useless, and the stream basically didn't exist at this point. Despite all the setbacks and crashes and tears, I did get some success from my gameplay. I just couldn't prove it. Thankfully, it did work the next time. Not only did I manage to fix all the crashes, but I was able to record actual gameplay and not have to rely upon the silent recordings from ReplayMod, which I'd had to do the session before that. In order to wreak righteous vengeance upon the village that had caused all the crashes and recording loss, the armoured cow made its moving appearance. Revenge is a dish best served medium rare, so this rain would provide excellent cover to approaching hoofbeats. And yes, I did label the village "Villaging for the Pillaging," just in case I'd forgotten what they'd done. I sneak up and enter the village stealthily, with my boat out. Now look, just because I'm going to reduce this place to ashes, doesn't mean I can't take tribute for my future trading hall. So, if you wouldn't mind, get in the boat. Haha, now the destruction begins. Marginally satisfying. didn't bother the villagers. Alright, plan number 2. I'll burn it all. Ooh, a chicken. I'll cook myself some dinner. Burning this place down in the rain just doesn't seem to be working. And now I'm feeling judged by the villagers. And the golem. Or is that pity? A good night's sleep leads to a nice sunny day, so I move the tribute out of the village and set to it again. The burning just seems so much better this morning. Even the villagers are burning. See? This one's on fire too. And he's running past the golem, who gives me a nod of approval. I don't know what's going on, but now I'm certain that the villagers deserve everything coming their way. Well, the golem is happy, and things are burning brightly. It's time to leave. First I'll chow down on the auto-cooked chicken as I go. I hop in the boat with my tribute and start rowing. It's downhill all the way to the water, so my new friend and I are going to have a fairly straightforward trip home. We arrive at my waterside quarantine station, and my new friend joins the one I made in the session when the recordings failed. With my new friend safely walled in again, and extra work on terrain clearance, it's finally time to start putting in the base structures. In something of a departure from my normal approaches, I set out the perimeter, complete with door placements and chimney location. It's not a complete floor plan, but it's fairly clear where internal rooms are going to be. In all the other activity that's been going on, I've forgotten to place a farm. Well, so that's the next task on the list. Every base needs its basement, so I'll put one in where the garage would normally be for this floor plan. One of the issues when working at a scale where one block is 1 metre is that fidelity of spacing and structural elements is somewhat difficult. As such, the internal layout is in a constant state of adjustment as I constantly try to get everything to fit. I'm not completely finished the outside wall, and the internal layout still needs work, but increasing mob activity demands I hurry up with the roof. It's far from complete, but you can really get the impression that the design is some sort of renovated mid-century modern classic. It even feels like it's meant to have a functional backyard. I placed the final blocks of roofing, completing the build to lock-up state, when I noticed a small zombie friend making its way across from the other side of the roof. Oh, I didn't even get to experience the quality of my handiwork before it was all done for. And it was such a nice looking build. Such is life in Minecraft. Well, according to our rules, that's it for this world. The next one is a hardcore world, but we're back to just the system module of the modpack for this one. We'll see you then.